Alright, so you remember how I said this was the last shrine I got when I finished the game the first time? Well, coincidentally, it was a really good shrine to do last. Did I know that that was going to happen and that they were going to want me to go there? No. But again, pretty happy about it. Now, before I open these, I want to go ahead and turn in my spirit orbs just because they're right here. And in case you're curious, if you hit heart container, she says, fuck off. How about a stamina wheel instead? And you say, yeah, sure. So, I wanted to get this out of my way first since I knew it would work. That is really big and in the way. And that's it. That is all 30 hearts and 2.5 stamina wheels. Link, it appears that you have sufficient power. You should be able to. You should not be able to increase any further. Go bring pace to high roll. Let me get this here. Now, let us open our prize for getting 120 shrines. Personally, I'm okay with it as a reward. And this is kind of where I feel like it just doesn't feel right unless you finish the game like this. Now, the set bonus for upgrading this, which yes, you can go ahead and upgrade the Tunic of the Wild, is that it increases the sword beam power. So, that's what we're going to do. Everything I've been focusing on and alluding to with the dragon parts, you need 2 of each dragon part, period, to upgrade this. You're also going to need 15 bee honey. We're down by 2. I think like 15 of those golden rhino beetles that I got rid of, and I think the rest was silent princess, which we got plenty of that. So that's pretty much it. Best of luck to you. Happy grinding. As I grab this very last one, I want to explain a couple things to you. So firstly, we're still within the Lurelin region. I went ahead to double check other spots and find out where they are, and basically all of them come up with jack shit. The only one that even had anything was this area right here. But I spent more time fighting Octoroks than I did getting the beetles that I just gave up. There's supposed to be like things around Kakariko and all these other places, but they don't show up with shit. So I'm going to explain to you how to get this, because to me, this is the hardest thing to get. Right outside of Lurelin Village, I noticed that it's more frequently at nighttime. The biggest challenge you're going to have is the fact that you have to do it at night, or at least it's been more successful for me. I like it over here because when the sensor goes off, there's very few trees, so it's really obvious to tell which is which. And as a result, this stupid shit happens all the time. You don't get left alone. You're trying to wander around, a stupid bat shows up or a stupid stall child shows up and fucks it up. That's the worst of it, but this is still 1 hour in comparison to what could be 200 hours just to find these stupid fucking beetles. Trust me when I say this is better than anything else anyone is telling you, because, like, I tried looking at those other options, and then I gave up, because the sensor wasn't reacting. Look. Now it's going off, there's very few options, meaning it's probably somewhere around this area. Now it's stopped, it's probably, like, you see how easy it is to, like, walk around and be like, okay, well, there's 5 trees, it's gotta be one of these. Also, one other thing I should mention, I don't really need it, I'm just looking around to kind of emphasize my point. It doesn't really matter to me anymore, even if I don't. I feel like rain kind of makes it harder, but the other things you'll be finding along with these beetles are going to be other beetles. This one makes it super hard if you're trying to go ahead and get the picture and you don't already have the picture, because you're going to end up seeing these stupid assholes all the time, and that infuriated me when I was trying to get the picture the first time. So, if you're lucky enough to find the dude at Kakariko, apparently he's there at 4 p.m., do that. Now, we should have everything we need, so the other bit that I was forgetting was acorns. But this is what I'm talking about. When it comes to daytime, they stop, but there's always these dumb assholes interfering. So let's upgrade our tunic, and we'll call it a day for the moment. Yeah, just checking. That looked like it took about an hour to get everything I needed. So there you go. Sheikah gear, also pretty nice. Helps as well as making you move faster. I have the most important thing for you to do. I don't really care about that. That's nice that I can actually fully upgrade the flame breaker stuff. There's no point in upgrading anything else, I hate to say, because we're gonna be done. But here's where you need. So you're gonna need each scale of each dragon and acorns. Acorns are super easy. Just knock down any tree and you'll find an acorn. What I did when I needed acorns was I went to the Great Plateau and I just started wrecking the whole woods. Alright, you're also going to notice that as far as durability, it's going to match up with this. So it's not going to be more defensive than anything else, but it is still going to be good. Next, we need the dragons of 6 dragon claws, 2 from each dragon. Now the bee honey, I don't really have any good advice to you. The best thing I can tell you is what I did when I first had to figure it out, because this has been collected throughout the whole game. But there's a spot at Fort Hitino. Pick that up. Leave, kill some time, come back, repeat. That's the best advice I've got to you. You're just going to it's going to be a slow process. That's really all there is to it. You can also check the Great Plateau, but it's not going to go by quick if you don't have the honey. Alright, now they're up to level 2, we get our sword beam up bonus. We just went over the rhino beetle and how annoying that is, and now we need the fangs of each one. Alright, last but certainly not least, I'm probably going to hate myself for saying alright all the time, because I'm starting to. Star Fragment and Dragon Horns. Now, I will go over this again in case you are new and you do not know, but we've covered how to easily get Star Fragments and Dragon Parts multiple times. So first, let me upgrade them. Alright, now I want to do... Okay, there I go again. I want to do one last thing just to drive this point home. Remember, I'm not focusing on getting all the armor, upgrading all the armor. That is totally optional. Most of these sets only max out at 20 defense, and they're all very comparable if you choose to do so. Yeah, we've gone over things. Monster masks, anything from Kilton really cannot be upgraded. Any DLC stuff cannot be upgraded. That was basically kind of what I wanted to go over and make sure you understood just in case. Now, lastly, the spots for grinding the dragon parts, any bow and arrow. So right here, this there's like a little hilltop, and then he'll fly down, and remember we mentioned that? Yeah, he'll fly this way, and I want to say it was early morning, so we did that. Because we discussed that when we went to get that shrine. Star fragments, super easy. Right over here, by this Korok, face your direction at Hyrule Castle, and then anywhere between 9 p.m. and I think it was 2 or 3 a.m., a star fragment should drop, and because we decided to change our mind, Dinral goes right through this canyon at midnight, 9 o'clock, midnight, somewhere around there. He never seems to be consistent, but he flies through here. Easy to get him. And then Farouche was... It's a little bit hard to see with all these shrines in the way. Alright, so there's the Dragon Mouth. So he was right over here by the waterfalls. He will rise out of this first thing in the morning. My recommendation is to hang down here, so this way when he flies down the waterfall, you can get him a lot easier instead of trying to compete with him going up and then going down, if that makes any sort of sense. Here's how the whole map looks with all the shrines done. Now that we've got that, your map should look pretty populated. And now our Link can look just, well, he doesn't have his Master Sword yet. I decided to burn that out right. Well, he doesn't really have a good bow either. I think it would have been cool if they had something like Hero's weapons. He's a little bit cold, but he's okay. There you go. There you go. That's our hero of time, of the winds, of the sky, of the wild. Looking like a Link. A true Link. This was actually much easier to find than I anticipated. I deliberately didn't get this because I figured it was going to be a pain in the ass, but since we got time to spare in this part, I figured why not go ahead and show off a couple Easter eggs and things like that. So there was the one mask I didn't get around to doing. Basically what happens is if you put it on, it'll shake whenever there's a Korok nearby. I don't particularly use it, but if you're going to be that kind of crazy, then it's good for you to find. I suppose in retrospect you could actually use this viewpoint right here to let you know where exactly it is. Okay, assuming that we're done now that I've had to fight off a guardian and 2 silver goblins, this was another one of the things I wanted to show off. It's a secret Easter egg. But the question is, can you spot what it is about this place that looks so familiar? Oh, for fuck's sake. Firstly, the plethora of dumb assholes is not making this any easier for me. But maybe if I get just the right angle, you might start to see something familiar here. Still don't get it? It's alright. This is called the Ranch Ruins. Lawn Ranch. Right here, the full track. There's the signpost. That's the building where you get your heart piece. And I thought there was another building, but I guess not. But yeah, they made it in its entirety and left it right here. And I think that's really cool. And I don't know if Lawn Ranch appears in any other games, but in case it needs warranting explanations, Ocarina of Time. It should just be Ocarina of Time. That's what this is meant to be a reference to. But yeah, I think this is really cool and worth showing off. Another thing that I was planning on showing off, but after I did a couple reading of it, I figured I should go ahead and explain. There's supposed to be another town, and it was the one that I was kind of like hinting at that I had no idea what it was. Apparently what it is there's a side quest in Hitino that can open up a new town called Terrytown. It's apparently a super long side quest, and as a result we probably won't have the time to worry about it today, because I'm just trying to throw in a little bit of tiny extras so this way this video is not just 10-12 minutes and that's it. But I will go ahead and say, if at any point in the future maybe we come back to Breath of the Wild, do Terrytown, and then if someone can persuade me that the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 thing is worth a shit, then I can look into those two as far as videos. But that's about it as far as that stuff. There are a couple other things I do want to show off before we call it an episode, but I figured this was another thing worth showing. I wanted to show off Terrytown, but apparently that's not a possibility, so I'm going to go on to my next objective of things I wanted to show off. Alright, I meant to show this off a long time ago, but it never ended up happening. Spot for you, right over here by the lake, Hateno Village. This is a special statue. So there are some who still pay me homage. You don't say. You can hear my voice? Wow, that's a surprise. What were you praying for? Long life, wealth, or so many of your kind? Whichever, you came to the right place. A dealer in life and power, that was me once. Also, my life for money bargains didn't sit well with the goddess Hylia. She trapped me into this stone statue long ago. The villagers here call me the horned statue and don't even bother to wipe away the bird droppings. One would think years upon years of such treatment would have made me mend my ways. One would think wrongly. I have only been biding my time for the moment someone came here to, someone who can hear me appears, someone such as you. But I've said enough. Shall we strike a bargain? Then stay that way. No further action on your part is required. My touch is as subtle as ever. Note how I took the essence from you without leaving a mark. What actually happens is I believe he and I can't actually tell. What's wrong? I have your essence gone unanswered. Give it back. Did you think I deceived you? Perish the thought. I hope that ours will be a long and profitable relationship, so which shall it be? As I may have mentioned once or twice, I'm a dealer in life and power. I can provide such valuable service to you. I take heart containers as stamina vessels, then for a price return whichever the two you like. So, basically what he's able to do is you can convert your hearts into stamina, or your stamina into hearts. So, I want to say there was someone, I know for a fact there was someone in Paper Mario 64 outside the dojo that did that same thing, where you could trade health, flower points, or badge points for something else. Money and life are always one to me. If you're ready to begin, then sell me either type of essence, and if you want to buy it back, there you go. But that's basically it. There is a kid inside of the village who will tell you about this, but that's a thing you can go ahead and do, is you can basically trade your life orb benefits for other things if you decide you changed your mind. So another thing that we never bothered showing off, which I anticipated doing at some point, was dyeing our clothes. So let me go ahead and show you guys some possibilities. Yeah, and you gotta do all the stuff at once. That's kind of weird. I didn't think they would let you dye the Tunic of the Wild, but yeah, this is an example of what it can do. I'm not going to dye the Tunic of the Wild, by the way. Here's what can change inside the Feather Quill Tunic, which is one of the ones I didn't bother taking a look at. That doesn't seem to affect the headpiece at all, but the Desert Voe stuff. The Gerudo Veil, which honestly I figured if I was going to dye any of them, I figured this would be the one because it actually kind of matters. But you see how, like, I guess you'll see later, but a lot of them don't really change too much. The least impressive of them all, the Flamebreaker Armor. Again, I think a lot of them kind of are just better the way they naturally are, which is most of the reason why I didn't dye anything. Sheikah Gear. Climber's Gear, which is actually one of the sets that is worth dyeing. I did dye this stuff on my personal file. I just didn't feel like fucking around with it on this one, though. Very, very subtle here, but the Barbarian Armor basically just changes the paint on Link's body, and that's about it. This is what I was saying earlier. If you dye the Ancient Armor, it looks fucking ridiculous. Like, there's literally no point in messing with this unless you want to look as goofy as ever. Now the DLC stuff cannot be dyed, so I went ahead and I bought this specifically so we can go ahead and show off what happens when you do dye your clothes. This again, you know, Hylian outfit, one of the very first things you can buy. This just screams Assassin's Creed to me right here. So these are your options. The green one, which yeah, it feels nice. It's just kind of a shame that this armor isn't the best. Alright, so because I think we probably got let's go green. It just feels right for Link, you know? And then you go ahead and you just pick anything matching of that color. It does not matter if it's alive or food. So make sure you have at least 5 items that are disposable. We'll go ahead and we'll use Hyrule Herbs. And then you can dye clothes as often as you want, and if you want to be a little bit more strategic with it, then you can do stuff like this and dye that a different color, or this and dye that a different color. So there's ways to do it. But yeah, I figured at least kind of show off dyeing clothes a little bit. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and save before I attempt this, because there is still one thing we have not done quite yet, but I've mentioned in post. Oh, it ends. It took about a heart. Now, you can also use this to your advantage against enemies. What happened to the chicken? Why was he sideways? Oh, it worked! It worked! Hell yeah, it took a while, but I fucking did it. The best way to get the chickens to attack an enemy, hold it above you, and then when they're about to strike, put it down. The chickens literally just killed a Yiga guy.